Hi, good evening. In an ever ongoing attempt to amuse myself and to add some more flavor to the game, I've created a quirks and flaws table that obviously isn't necessary for any of the players to pick out anything from, but it will make some of their characters a little bit more memorable, especially if, say, they roll up a character they're not 100% happy with, and I'll explain that in a minute. What I have in here is about 170 quirks and flaws, and these were all taken from other lists from other games, things I looked up on the internet. You know, whether it was a phobia, whether it was like some sort of a breathing condition. Maybe almost an insanity type thing where you just were somebody that laughed out of place, just about anything, as you can imagine. So if one of my players, say, needed to roll a 17 or 18 and couldn't quite pass, the muster for it, I would allow them to say, do you want to try to go for a quirk or a flaw? And some of these flaws are so terrible that I made a percentile roll for each of them. If they pick that there's a percentile, if they roll that and roll beneath it, that they can change one score on their character sheet, either +1, or if they really, if it's really bad as a DM, I would maybe let them get away with it if they needed something to play a certain character class. So what I would have them do is first they would roll a die 6. And then, because there's no dice that go up to 173, one or two would mean they just roll a regular percentile roll, 3 or 4, one die 100 plus 37, which would give them more of a middle of the range score. And then 5 and 6, they would roll one die 100 plus 73, which would get them all the way up to possibly 173rd. So I'll just go through a few things here. Like the first page here, just like strange voice. And all I have written is, if you are a male, you have a high-pitched voice. And if a female, a low, husky voice. To the opposite sex, your voice is unappealing. And to them, your charisma is considered to be 2 points lower than actual. Note that it doesn't really affect their charisma only when dealing with NPCs, not to other really party members, but never lower than 3 charisma. This odd voice of yours may 40% at times affect business dealings, especially with the opposite sex. For spellcasters with this quirk, there is no penalty or bonus for casting spells. And as you can tell, the ability check, I made it as a 20% roll. Next we got slow talker, stutterer. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of them are pretty bad. Look at this. Even for D&D. You are OCD. That door must be opened and closed 3 times when you leave a room, or you must wash your hands 6 times in a row each morning. Or you tap your fingers to a well-known song for a few minutes before each meal. Anyway, you and the DM will come together, and some of these are going to have to be, role played out or whatever. In debt, conceited and arrogant, fidgeter, skin issues, extremely large feet. There's everything on here. There's phobias, like I said, and there's a whole crap load here. We use the 4 die 6 method. In other words, the player gets to roll 4 dice for their attributes, But even then, with some of the high scores needed to play certain classes, I found this to be quite effective and funny a part of the game. I hope you enjoyed this, and who knows, maybe you might want to do something like this and put this, bring this as part of your game. All right, good evening.